Monday morning, rain is falling. Not really. The rain all came on Saturday. My goodness. Lots of rain. Good morning, everybody. Morning has broken, and I am your consecrated host, consecrated by baptism and confirmation, Jonathan. Like we discussed last week, it's Father Jeff's day off, so we don't really need his chair in the shot today. And we've got an excellent show waiting for you today. Had a great weekend, lots of rain on Saturday, but you know what? And it just being able to spend time with family. I love my kids and my wife, and it's just such a blessing. And so, got to spend a great quality time with them. We got some games that we were able to play, and just lots of good time. Father Jeff told me to get a guest for the show today, and I spent so much quality time with my family, I kind of forgot to get a guest. But that's okay. You can just deal with me. Or you know what? I've got an idea. Yes, it's Father Jeff's day off, but what if we just go see what he's doing? Maybe, we can just go bug him a little bit or something. Just, what does a priest even do on their day off? Do they know anything outside of coming to here, doing some administrative works, saying Mass, doing the sacraments? Let's go see what's going on. Come on.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Oh, wait. I probably need to get this thing. Let's go. Bye, Dan. We're going to go see Father Jeff.
Bye, okay.
So excited. I wonder what Father Jeff is up to. This is going to be so great. Father Jeff.
Oh my goodness, what the heck? Who is here? It's my day off, for goodness. Oh, for the love, don't tell me.
Good morning,
Jonathan!
Father Jeff. That's what big knife you have.
I'm in the middle of making lunch.
I'm in the middle of the morning show.
Apparently, but you're not doing that here.
Well, I forgot to get a guest, and so I figured, why not just see what Father Jeff is doing? You look very happy to see me.
Jonathan, I'm always happy to see you. Welcome.
Thank you. That's what I was expecting. Not this knife in my face.
Well, I guess I could show you how to make lunch.
Sure.
Another Italian dish? More American Italian. But come on, follow me.
Let's do it.
So come on this way. I'm in the middle of cutting up this eggplant.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could join you at such an opportune time.
I know. So, yes, I'm making lunch because it takes a while to cook. So I decided to get started on it this morning.
You don't ever just go to Jimmy John's, do you?
No.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No. I mean, no. So, yeah, I chopped up my eggplant. So for this recipe, you really want about 2 pounds of eggplant. And that's 2 good size eggplants, regular size eggplant. You want it to be nice and firm, beautiful, deep flesh tone there on the skin. And
Do you flick it or anything like a watermelon?
no,
Anything
no.
weird?
You can see this is pretty dense the way it's been cut up. And I cut them in, what is that, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch?
Yeah.
You know, maybe inch. You end
Nice
up to an
thick
inch.
portions.
Nice thick portions. Now, the thing about eggplant, though, and this is why maybe I think a lot of people don't like eggplant, is because it's got a bitterness to it. And you have to get rid of that bitterness. We have to leach out the nastiness.
Is that how it works with you too? I get a leech and stick it on you? You put that down quite forcibly.
I'm just going to put some eggplant on this cookie sheet.
You were so happy to see me this Monday morning.
Jonathan, I didn't invite you over here.
But you have...
But I'm
tons of
so
people.
glad you're here.
I know. Everyone's glad when I
It's
show up.
lovely. It's wonderful. All right, so here's what you do. Line a cookie sheet with some paper towels. Lay out the eggplant there. This is why you want them to kind of be cut similarly sized, and some of these are a little thicker. Pay no attention to that. And I'm going to sprinkle each one with some kosher salt.
I'm surprised you don't have a... What's it called? It's not a mandolin. Is it a... What's the...
A mandolin.
It is a mandolin.
Yeah, that would be especially if you're going to do really thin slices. It wouldn't work too well with the big thick slices like this.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Then you want to take a second paper towel, cover it. The salt's going to help draw the liquid out of the eggplant.
So you want them dry.
Cover that. You want to get the like I said, there's this bitter yeah, there's like a bitter bile in there. And then you just want to weight it down with a couple books. So I am going to set this off to the side for a moment and just let that kind of squeeze out this the bile in the eggplant. Just because it's, I don't know, whenever I've eaten one and it's not had that to it, it just makes your inside of your mouth kind of itch. It's like, ooh, I don't like that.
And so you just put salt on it?
Kosher salt. Squeeze it now. And we'll let it sit for a while. I usually let mine sit there for about an hour. While we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going to take some of that leftover Parmesan cheese that we used when we made the carbonara a few weeks ago.
Okay.
So I still have it. This keeps forever.
So it's going to take you an hour to do this?
No. It will not take me an hour to do this, unless I'm a very slow grater. So basically, if you buy your Parmesan cheese already grated, that's fine. That's great.
It's not acceptable is what he's saying.
It's great. It just...
Great.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday. Come on, Jonathan, wake up. So I'm just grating my cheese here with a regular box grater, and I want about 2 cups. No, not 2 cups. Half a cup.
Half a cup. Oh,
Half a cup of cheese.
That's a big difference.
That's a big difference. Half a cup of cheese, grated Parmesan cheese. And we'll just let that go, because we're going to use this. This is kind of where the name eggplant Parmesan comes from. You have to have the Parmesan cheese in there. So if you have some of the pecorino left over from the broccoli, that's not going to work.
Don't use it.
Then you would have eggplant pecorino. And we want
Might be worth
eggplant
trying.
Parmigiano.
Look at that. A little mountain of
A
cheese.
little mountain of cheese. Now let's just, let me get my little half cupper here and just make sure. I mean, I think that I'm eyeballing that and I'm saying that's a half a cup and then some. So that's good enough.
I think going a little bit generous with the cheese is always a good idea.
Who doesn't like a little cheese? Delicious. All right, so this back in the refrigerator. This we don't need. I know. We wait.
One hour later.
The magic of television. So let me bring in, or bring over rather, the leached.
Leached.
So
So not dehydrated.
Not dehydrated. We just want to
Oh, and you can see it picked up a lot of that moisture.
see it's wet. So these will have dried out. The salt kind of helps do that. And now what you can do is let me get rid of that and get my grilling tongs, because I'm going to go throw these out on the grill, which I had heated up before you got here, and now it's really hot because it's been going on for an hour and 15 minutes.
That's kind of silly if you're going to have to wait an hour.
So we're going to, I heat up the grill. You want it on medium-high heat. I need to drizzle these with a little olive oil and then throw them on the grill. So we'll just take a little olive oil, zhuzh them over them. We're going to use a new zhuzhment here. So we're going to drizzle these with a little olive oil.
EVOO?
You could use regular, just OO.
Who buys regular olive oil?
I don't know. I usually get EVOO. We'll drizzle that over our eggplants and salt them just a little bit and throw them out on the grill. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go do that.
Father Jeff's gone, so I'm gonna eat some cheese. Parmigiana. I'm Italian, but I'm not really. Oh my gosh, that's so good. This reminds me, actually, of a little bit. Hi. I know you've been waiting for me. So, when I lived in Maryland, because, Father Jeff's getting this fancy Parmigiana, I lived in Maryland, and down in Annapolis, there was a store that was only dedicated to olive oils and balsamic vinegars. And I wanted to go in it. And so Genevieve said, oh, he's putting them on, so I still got a little bit of time. So Genevieve, my wife, she's just like, do not go in there. I know how you are. You're going to like one, and then that's all you're going to ever want to have. So needless to say, you go in, and they have like these canisters that you can pour it out, and then the bread that you can taste it with. And oh my goodness, such good olive oils. So I ended up buying 2 bottles of olive oil. They were like $12 each for a little bottle, and it was so good. And she's right. I taste bad olive oil now, and it's just not the same.
All right.
Hey, Father Jeff!
Hello.
What are you
Got them on the
doing?
grill. Now, I'm just going to let those hang out there on the grill for a while. So we're going to let them hang out, and then I'll go out and flip them. And you want them, you want to drain. This is going to shrink them down, dry them up a little bit. You don't want them black, but you definitely want them golden brown or browny gold.
So do you have a charcoal grill, gas grill?
Gas grill.
Gas grill.
Gas
Quick and
grill
easy.
there. Quick and easy. Hooked right up to the natural gas hose back there, which is even more convenient.
Oh my gosh.
It's so nice.
What if you don't have a grill, or maybe...
Oh, so yeah, if the weather's not nice, you want to make this during the winter or whatever, go ahead and put this in the oven, like on a cookie sheet with a rack on it, and just set them out on the rack and slide that into the oven at 400 degrees.
Is that a cooling rack?
This is a cooling rack.
So you can use a cooling rack in the oven?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I make a lot of things like this. If you want them to kind of have the airflow go around them, so it doesn't. You can also bread and fry the eggplant, which is how a lot of the eggplant parmesans are done, where you take your eggplant and you bread it, you dredge it, you fry it, and then you have it. But oh my gosh, the eggplant just acts like a sponge, and it just soaks up all of that oil, and I just find it kind of nasty.
That's my experience with it. It's a little bit oily and nasty, so...
It's a little bit oily and nasty. This is going to make it so much better. So the eggplant, just kind of check it. Depending on how hot your grill is, you're going to want to leave it out there at different times. But I'm just going to take my tongs, and I think they're done. So let me go out and grab
quick,
them.
huh?
Oh my gosh. Here it is, the magic of television, Jonathan. So, I always wondered how this worked when you watch these things on television, and they're like, oh, you just throw that in, but that hasn't been an hour, that hasn't been a whatever. It's amazing. All you have to do is turn on a camera, and everything works differently in your kitchen.
Yeah, it looks like those are grilled on
It
both
looks
sides.
like these have been grilled on both sides for at least, 20, 30 minutes, and they are
20 to 30 minutes on medium heat.
you just gotta keep an eye. Again, watch your own grill. This side got a little black, a little dark, but that's okay. You want to this is a good looking eggplant right there. Okay, so we got our eggplant.
So in the oven, 20 to 30 minutes as well? Keep an eye on it?
Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Just see what it's looking like. But that's probably about right. So now we want to get we're about ready to assemble. So I'm just going to set this off to the side for a second because I want to show you your basic tomato sauce.
Oh.
Now, I did not...
Go buy the ragu jar and just pour it out into the thing.
Oh, Jonathan. If I were to recommend a jarred sauce...
I wouldn't recommend that.
I can't think of one right off the thing. I generally don't buy jarred sauce, but if you
Shocking.
have one, if you have one that you really like, go ahead and use that one. So this is tomato sauce. What I do is people during the summer give me fresh tomatoes, garden vegetables, whatever, and so I spend one of my days off and I just make gobs and gobs of tomato sauce. So this was from the summer, and everything in here is really, really fresh. So we're talking about, a couple pounds of garden tomatoes, a whole onion chopped up nice and fine, maybe a medium carrot, no sugar, you add the carrot for the sweetness, 4 cloves of garlic, some fresh thyme goes in there, a little salt and pepper. Saute your onions and your garlic up, throw the tomatoes in there, break it down, and then let them just marry together for a while.
Zhuzh.
Yeah, until it gets down to a nice thickness that you want it. And so this is the tomato sauce that I have made. I put them in about 2 to 3 cups, depending, 2 cup plastic baggies. Put them in the freezer, and then I pull them out when I need.
And it keeps well?
Keeps well. If you don't have your garden tomatoes, or if you don't have real flavorful tomatoes, and you want to use canned tomatoes to make this mixture, then you need 2 28 ounce cans of tomatoes, and that's this big guy right here.
Pomodoro S. Marzano.
Yeah, Pomodoro San Marzano. So a lot of times you'll hear talking about the San Marzano tomatoes. These tomatoes, these aroma tomatoes, they don't have gobs of juice in them. They're like the plum tomatoes, the longer ones. Not much juice, but the San Marzanos, and you want to ensure that you got the authentic ones. It's going to have the little DOP. You're going to have you want the San Marzanos. Why? Because they are grown on the side and slopes of Mount Vesuvius.
Mount Vesuvius.
Mount Vesuvius.
Can't just be any plain tomatoes.
No, the terroir of these tomatoes is completely different. So basically you grow the tomatoes in the volcanic ash. And so it's got a whole different flavor and texture that these tomatoes are going to have.
What did you say they have?
You grow the
Terroir?
terroir. It's the earth taste.
The terra. Okay.
You get the earth taste to them. Yeah, it's awesome.
So they taste more like dirt than other tomatoes.
They taste like dirt. If you don't have these, any old plum tomatoes will do just
Where
fine.
did you get those?
Hy-Vee.
Okay, so it's readily findable.
Yeah, you can find
accessible.
these. These are going to be a little... Yeah, these are not at every Hy-Vee store. Maybe in a bigger one. You can find these. But they just have a good flavor to them. The acid levels are different. And so if you don't have your fresh garden tomatoes, you can just take 2 cans of these. You won't have as much of the boiling down to do because they're not fresh. They've already got some processing going on here. And you're going to make a nice sauce.
Excellent.
So you got a good tomato sauce there. We've got all of our pieces, Jonathan. I think... Oh! We need the mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
The mozzarella cheese.
That's mozzarella.
Let me put that is mozzarella.
For you non-Italians.
Jonathan, nobody likes you. So, this is pretty much the mozzarella that you're going to find in the store.
You just left it at that. Jonathan, nobody likes you.
That's right.
Well, as much of a penance as I can be for you, I'm happy to do it.
Monday, Jonathan.
And I'm here on your
Fresh
day
mozzarella. You can get this at Walmart. You can get this at Hy-Vee. And this one...
off. That one's pre-sliced, it says.
This one is pre-sliced, which makes it so easy because cutting the cheese is really hard.
I have no problems cutting cheese, Father Jeff.
Oh, dear Lord. So here you can see that it's already pre-sliced, so you don't have to try to work your knife through there.
And that's magically the shape of the
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. And so it's not as part skim, like you're in a bag Parmesan cheese that you sprinkle over your pizza. This has got some moisture to it. I'd give you a taste, Jonathan, but I think I need all of this for the...
you just put a huge chunk in your mouth, so...
Here, throw that away.
Oh, gosh. Well,
Okay.
good for something.
We are ready to put this together. So, whether you've bought your tomato sauce or you've made some fresh, and if you make it on the stove, just add 30 more minutes. While you're leaching your eggplant, you can make your own tomato sauce with a couple cans of tomatoes, an onion, some garlic, fresh thyme. Boil it down, throw it in a blender or an immersion stick, and you'll have a beautiful sauce.
Bada bing, bada boom, and you're done.
And you're done. And it's ready to go. And you can say it is totally homemade. Okay, I'm going to get an oven-proof dish here. And I've got my oven going at 350 degrees. Now what I want to start with is my eggplant. Where'd that go? Here it is. Okay, it's cooled enough now. So I can take the eggplant. And I want to find the larger ones. And I want to just set these around the bottom here. And I'm going to set maybe 6 on the bottom. I probably should have done a third eggplant here because I like to build this up a bit, but I only got 2. I need a spoon. Okay. I use a spatula with a hole in it whenever I do soups and sauces, so that when you stir it, it doesn't slosh around. It cuts through the thing and doesn't splash all over the place.
I'm just careful and make sure it don't spill.
Well, good for you. Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna take our sauce, and I wanna put a nice heaping spoonful.
I'd say that's a generous portion.
That is a generous portion of sauce. And we're working with about 2.5 cups of tomato sauce here. Okay, now that's on there, and I want to grab my Parmesan cheese and basil. And I have to apologize. I'm going to use dry basil now. I wanted so badly to get the fresh leaf basil, but when I was last at the grocery store, I totally forgot. And then I went back to get something else, and I totally forgot. And so I wasn't going to go back a third time. So I'm going to, if you use fresh basil, you just chiffonade it, and then just sprinkle the strips.
More made-up word, chiffonade.
Roll it, slice it, so that you get like ribbons out of it.
Oh.
And then you just sprinkle those ribbons over the thing. So in the absence of that, I'm going to use the dry, and you need far less of the dry than you would of the fresh.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing anyway.
Yeah, this is much more concentrated, so you want to be careful. So we're going to just sprinkle that lightly over the... If you buy a tomato sauce that has basil in it, go ahead and use that. All right, then I'm going to take the mozzarella, and I'm just going to kind of squish it down just a little bit. And lay it on top of the medallions.
Fits perfectly.
I know, isn't that amazing? It's almost as if these two things were made for each other. Kind of like you and Genevieve.
Oh, we were made for each other. Oh, you actually said something nice about me.
I said something nice about Genevieve.
Yeah, that's true.
So we got that, and then we need to put the Parmigiana, because that is what this is called.
It's not eggplant a la mozzarella.
It is not, but oh, that mozzarella is delightful when it oozes in whatevers. Okay, now we're going to top it with another piece.
So we're making sandwiches.
Kind of. We're making towers. We're going to make some towers of
So,
eggplant.
well, you said you hadn't seen it in Italy, but have you eaten in Pisa?
That is in Italy.
Because they might be making towers of eggplant.
Oh, yes, but those would be leaning towers of eggplant, and I think you would come up with a disaster. Aren't you funny, Jonathan?
I've got the jokes sometimes.
Little basil.
Oh, so you just keep going.
You keep repeating the process. So now I'm going to sprinkle a little basil again, kind of on top of that.
Well, while building your towers,
what
if you
comes
keep
next?
babbling and keep building, those towers will start leaning.
They will start to lean. It is, it's our human nature to try to do more than we really can.
Did you see how I threw in that babbling thing?
Yeah,
It's a Monday. If people are on their game, maybe I'm not on my game, but you know
Be
what?
on your game. All right, and a little Parmesan.
More.
Make it snow. Right over the top. Okay. And then let's cap that with our little hats.
Did you count how many slices?
I did not. It just happened to work out. And then we're going to sauce it.
Oh, now you're from New York.
I'm going to sauce our, it's where all of those Italian immigrants who brought this recipe over to the United States came from. I can't do accents, so that probably was horrible. Okay, that is about, I think I had about 3 cups of tomato sauce, so you don't want to be shy. And then we will want to basil that just a little bit.
Wait, isn't this supposed to be breaded?
Oh, Jonathan.
Oh, Father Jeff.
So, yes, you want to. You normally get breading in this, but since we didn't fry the eggplant, what we're going to do in its place, I'm going to grab some breadcrumbs.
Did you make those?
I did not make these. You can make them if you want, but I find that just panko, Japanese-style breadcrumbs, work so well. If you want to add an extra little taste to this, you could melt a little butter in a skillet, maybe mince up a garlic clove, throw this in there, toss them around a bit, and then you can have a little garlic bread on top of your thing.
You would find a way to fancy up.
Even
up breadcrumbs, panko.
Breadcrumbs. So we're just going to put the breadcrumbs right here on top. If you make your own, you do want to toast them so that they get a little crunch to them and they aren't just soggy. Because there's a lot of liquid in here, as you can see.
A little crunch would be good.
All right, let's take this to the oven, Jonathan.
All right, I'm going to follow you, I think.
All right, here we go. We've got our little towers of eggplant. Now we're going to put this in our 350-degree oven and set the timer for 20 minutes. And now we wait.
Should probably get your face in that. So we're going to wait?
We're going to wait. I'm going to go get some more coffee, and I'll be back.
Father Jeff?
Hello.
That's not coffee.
Jonathan, I'm cooking Italian food. And you always have to have a little red wine when you're cooking Italian food.
I guess you do.
And it's Monday.
And I'm here.
I don't know if I've ever had wine out of a coffee cup before. It's delicious.
What kind of wine is it? Someone asked what your favorite wine is.
I know, we didn't answer that. First of all, answer the question. This is Cooper and Thief. This is an interesting red wine blend because it's aged in bourbon barrels. So it's got a bourbony, barrel-y taste to it.
All right.
It's delicious. Great with a nice steak. My favorite wine. I like a dry French wine. Chateauneuf du Pape.
You're making up words.
I am not making up words.
Chateauneuf du Pape. Is that a Merlot? Is it just
It's a blend. A blend. A lot of those French, like a Bordeaux, those wines in that region are a lot of blends of different kinds of red wine grapes. And yeah, I just like a nice dry. Like you take a drink of it and it's like
That sounds awful.
just sucks all of the moisture out of your mouth. It's just those are delightful wines. Yeah. Nothing like a good cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah. Oh.
Look at that.
Boom.
I think we're done. Let's kill the timer there and see how we are looking. Oh, we are bubbling. Let me get another hot pad out, lest I burn my fingers. I'm going to get a nice thick one here.
Yeah, you don't want to burn your fingers.
Don't want to burn those canonical digits. All right. Oh,
Oh, well.
look at that bubbly
my cup's still
goodness.
down. Wow. Looks pretty good.
We're gonna let that sit for just a minute or two before we've had some leaning towers going on there, but 'tis the danger when you've got hot cheese.
Now, most of the chicken parmesans that I've seen, parmesanas, it's like
Have
a
chicken
chicken
in
fried
them?
steak, or eggplant parmesan. It
Yeah.
looks,
Yeah.
they're the same. Chicken, eggplant, chicken fried steak.
Veal.
It's a patty.
Yep. So you probably cut the eggplant the other way.
Yep, and then it's breaded,
Yep.
probably fried.
Fried.
You put the cheese on there, the tomato sauce, let the cheese melt a little bit, and it's like that. Nothing
And
like.
then serve it with like spaghetti or whatnot on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This looks very, very different.
Very different.
This is not something that you're going to find in a typical thing. Let me grab a plate. And 2 forks.
Excellent.
Because I'm sure you will want a sample here, Jonathan.
I didn't just come over to say hi to you.
He was like, I'm kind of hungry. Let's go see what Father Jeff is making. Okay. So I'm going to grab a thing with which to scoop out the eggplant parmesan.
That's
Maybe
called
a spoon.
Yeah,
maybe,
no fancy.
maybe a spoon. And I'm just going to dig in here and scooch that out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That cheese is just.
That is the money shot.
That's what you want right there. It's hanging almost to the floor.
That is yes. So let's get some of this sauce poured in there. Here comes the pup who smells something going on. That cheese
That is
delightful. So yeah, you don't need that shredded mozzarella to get the nice stringiness.
Put it there on the corner there so we can show them nice and close.
There is the money
Maybe
shot.
even zoom in a little bit.
Take a look at that, Jonathan. You see that? You'll notice that the sauce is more orange than it is bright red.
Yeah.
No dyes in this sauce.
And you said you put only carrot in there?
Just a medium carrot to serve as the sweetener. So
they're up close and seeing you cut this, Father Jeff. They can see this. No, you cannot see the steam, but
oh, it's there. All right, I'm gonna give this a little taste,
zhuzh.
and then I'll let you taste it, Jonathan.
All right, I'm not gonna film you tasting it unless you want me to.
Where am I? Where am I?
There's okay. You're up
People
now.
want to
You're up,
see
you're
me
up.
eat this. We're very hot.
You just took it out of the oven. What were you expecting?
There was no TV magic there. It was very hot.
So is the eggplant get crispy?
Well, the skin gets crispy. That's why I like to cook the eggplant, to grill the eggplant so it's nice and dry. And the cheeses and everything else here just makes it. So Jonathan, new fork, fresh
New
fork
fork.
here.
Let's see.
So I will, why don't you come in and give that a try.
All right, that's a big bite.
Well, yeah, you might want to cut that in half because it is a big bite and you will burn your mouth.
Yeah, well, I don't need to taste anything ever again.
Never need to taste anything ever again.
Now I'm skeptical. You know, I don't. This whole eggplant business.
I know, because you're a
Metasaurus.
chicken parmesan. Now blow on it.
I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Staples is trying to get in on this.
He's down there wanting his share.
Hi.
Just eat the darn thing.
That is very good. Very good, Father Jeff.
That is going to make for a delightful lunch.
Yeah. Well,
Some more
so
coffee.
you're inviting me over for lunch on your off day?
No. I think it's time to say goodbye. Perhaps. How do we say goodbye in Italian? Arrivederci.
Au revoir.
That's French.
Does it mean goodbye?
Adios. Ciao. I will see you all tomorrow. You know what? Since today really wasn't a day off, I think maybe I'll take tomorrow as a day off.